Hi Flosstube, I'm Sarah, Cross Stitch Sarah, here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel all about cross stitch. So I've got lots of things to show you today, all cross stitch related. Today is Sunday the 13th of April 2025 and this is my Flosstube number 17. So hi everyone, welcome if you are a new subscriber. I've had quite a few recently, so thank you so much. That means a lot to me, and thank you so much to everyone that comes back every time, my regular subscribers. That means a lot to me as well. I really appreciate you all taking time to listen to me waffle on about my stitching, basically. I've got a few things to show you today. This is a mid-month update. I did ask on, that's a lot of isn't it? I did ask on my last Flosstube whether people would like it to be more, my videos to be more often, because my last video was over an hour, which is fine. I'm happy doing that, and I don't mind videos that are about an hour or just over an hour long or anything like that, but I know different people have different preferences, so I just thought I'd ask kind of my viewers, if you like, what their thoughts were. So most people, all the comments were really lovely and really kind, and I really appreciate all your comments anyway, thank you. But most people said, yeah, it'd be great to see me every 2 weeks. Other people were really sweet and said, yes, it would be great to see me every 2 weeks, but once a month is also fine, and whatever fits in with you. So I thought that was really nice, that they weren't kind of like, didn't want to feel like they were committing or forcing me into anything, but yeah, they were quite happy to watch me whenever I popped up on their feed, I guess. So I'm going to try it for, well, as long as I can, and do every 2 weeks, and we'll see how we go, basically. So everything that you're going to see today is everything that I have done after the last video. So the last video was the 30th of March. So from the 31st of March to yesterday, what stitching I've managed to get done, if I've had finishes and so on, which I haven't, spoiler alert. So I have actually worked on 8 different projects in the last couple of weeks. I've completed, one of them was my first WhipGo number for April, so I've completed that yesterday. I'll talk about that when we get there. I haven't had any finishes, as I just said, and I've had 2 new starts. So yeah, a few things to show you. I've also got the April cotton and twine box to show you and do a giveaway for, so stay tuned for that. I've also got another giveaway of something very special as well, that was gifted to me to give away, so it's very exciting. And then I've got a couple of little things that I'm mildly obsessed about right now, stitching, but so I thought I'd show you what I've got in that genre. Now, I feel I need to address this. This is our bookcase, but because we're still doing lots and lots of work in the house, it doesn't have like books on like anybody's regular bookcase in their lounge. It's got like overflow stuff from the kitchen. So there's all sorts of like cereal and stock cubes and all sorts on there. And I just thought, I can't be faffed to take it all off. So that's why there's a weird cloth hanging down on the bookcase. Please comment if it's too weird and just tell me to man up and get the stuff off there next time. I won't be offended. But mostly when I'm holding stuff up, you're only going to see the project, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's go with the 2 new starts first. So the new starts, the first new start was on the 31st, so the day after. We got the first part of the Secret Garden Sal, which is a stitch along by Historical Sampler Company. The ladies there very kindly gifted me the kit and needle minder, and then we get the parts by PDF every 2 weeks. So the first part was last Monday the 31st, no, 2 weeks ago. It's 2 weeks tomorrow, so we get the second part tomorrow. And it's lovely. It's in 5 parts, the whole Sal, and I managed to get part 1 complete by the end of the week. So this is it. I won't put up a picture because that is what it looks like. I haven't changed anything. So this is on the kit supplied 16 count Ada with all the DMC threads that were also supplied with the kit. I'll just bring it in a bit. So obviously the birds aren't finished. Their tails will go into the parts either side. This is the center of the design. So like I say, there's 5 parts. So part 1, and then we've got 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 basically. This is the center. So yeah, I'm really happy to have got that up to date and done. So that's nice. Then the second start I had is in this bag, which is haul, but I'm going to show you now while I'm showing you. This, not a bag, this case, gorgeous, gorgeous home case by Canny Little Fox. She's over on Instagram, so if you haven't checked her out, then do. And I did message her to see if she had any fabric left so she could make me a matching grime guard, but unfortunately she didn't. So then I was trying to track the fabric down myself because I can make grime guards myself. I was just being lazy. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I mentioned it to Charlie, my friend Charlie. Charlie Stitches with Charlie Feathers, and she found it and sent me a link. So I have a huge piece of said fabric. I bought a nice big bit so that I can do grime guards and maybe even a small project bag as well. Not a home case like that. That is out of my sewing capabilities. I will be going to Canny Little Fox for those. So this is, I haven't got a picture. I'll pop a picture in here of what it will look like when it's finished. And this is Wings of Spring. And this is by Mila of Pony Stitches. And she very kindly messaged me to say, would I like to join the sale? She'd like to send me the charts every 2 weeks if I wanted to join in. So it's not a kit. I've kitted it myself. But she is sending me the charts for free as a gift. So this is where I've got to. The first part, as you saw in the picture, is a butterfly and a couple of little flowers. I've done one of the little flowers and sort of part of the first butterfly. The colours are really, really pretty. This fabric, the lighting in here is a bit weird today, is a really pale spring green. So it's a 32 count Murano even weave. And where I bought it from, Lakeside Needlecraft, and it was labelled as Mimosa Green. And then it's just the called for DMC threads. So yeah, so I need to get on with that because the second part of that will be out before I know it, and then I'll be behind, which isn't unusual for me really. So that's Wings of Spring. So they're the two new starts, that one of which I'm up to date with and one I'm not. Other things that I've worked on. So the next thing I've got here is my WhipGo number 4 for April. The numbers are 4 and 10, and my number 4 is this by Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist, and it's called Words to Live By Love. And it's basically the Bible verse 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4. That says 4 to 0. That can't be right, can it? Anyway, 1 Corinthians 13. It starts with love is patient, love is kind. So it's a big words design. So I worked on this for my WhipGo. I work on my WhipGo pieces for 2 weekday evenings and 1 weekend day to try and get as much progress in that time as I can. So mostly Saturdays and Sundays I have more time to stitch, so I usually get good progress. And this is, so I'll pop a picture in here of where it was before I worked on it for WhipGo this time. And this is where it is now. You can, if I can get that in. Not really, not very straight. Let me try and straighten that up. There we go. Hopefully you're seeing all of that. So I have changed mine slightly. So I am using the called for fabric, which is, I think it's 32 count cocoa, but I'm not sure if it's weeks. I'll have to put it on the screen because I didn't check and I can't remember. But the threads that were called for, this thread is the called for thread, which is Weeks Dye Works Coll. And the whole thing is done in that colour. So I decided that I was going to stitch every word love in a red, and my red is Weeks Dye Works Candy Apple. Also between the ends of sort of little bits, so between, for example, love is patient, then there's a dot, and on the pattern it is just one single stitch here in the grey, in the coll, but I decided to do mine in red and do sort of 3 little stitches so it looks a little bit like a heart. I hope that makes sense. Just for my own, just because I thought it would look nice. So I am pleased with it so far. There are 13 rows of words and I've done 7, not this time for WhipGo, but for the whole thing. So I am more than halfway through, which is great, and that will get called again at some point in the year. Then I have worked on a couple of other whips, well, a few other whips, just things that called to me. This is Modern Folk Embroidery, put a bird on it. I love this pattern. I got this pattern at Big Stitch 2024 when Jacob was there. He was there and he had lots of patterns. And I just love the colours on it. And then I found out that that's not actually a stitched piece, it's a mock-up. So the colours aren't listed. So I went round to Letitia at Korrys little shop, and she sells every single thread you could ever imagine, from, you know, over-dye cottons to silks to things I've never even heard of. And she very, very kindly, I was going to say helped me, but basically she did it, matched these colours up to Weeks Dye Works threads for me. She's actually doing another little conversion for me, a chart that I want to stitch that's charted for Belsoir silks, and I don't want to use silk, I want to use over-dye cottons. And I just gave her the details and she's going to sort that out for me. So she's wonderful. If you ever need any help with finding certain threads or converting threads, she's your lady. I will link her below. So this is where I am, and what I'd worked on this time is this blue motif. So I think I had this top bit, maybe both of those. So I've brought this bit down and then done the bits on the side and this one sort of flower motif there, which will also mirror here. Oh, and I've done these two little ones as well, so and that's where it's at completely. So I'm stitching mine on 32 count Zweigart Belfast linen in platinum, and the threads I'm using are, the green is Classic Colourworks English Ivy, and we've got Weeks Dye Works Michael's Navy, Weeks Dye Works Terracotta, that's two words, terra and cotta, and Weeks Dye Works Glacial Melt. And I think they are a perfect match for what's on here. So yeah, happy with that. Bit more progress. Okay, then I also have worked a little bit on my monthly hair. So I'm doing a hair every month from Wandling Stitches. And April's hair is Hair with Bleeding Hearts. That's what those little flowers are called. We used to have some in the garden, but they're dead now. I'm not a great plant person. I don't have any indoor plants. So I have got a little bit done on this, not a lot. So I'd already got some of this stalk and this one little flower done when I started them, because I started all 12 on New Year's Eve for 12 in 12, as I've said lots of times before. So this time when I worked on it, I just brought the stalk round and did the two bigger flowers. So yeah, it's looking quite good. Then I also worked a little bit on my Great Outdoors, which is by Stitching Cabin. So I'll pop a picture in here of what it will look like when parts 1 to 4 are done. I'm only on part 3, so you'll see the bottom strip is little trees and owls sitting in them. I haven't even started that part yet. I am behind, but I did get a tiny bit of part 3 started. So this little fox. And that's where mine is at so far. So part 1 was this top strip and the mountains and this little bit. And part 2 was, oh no, and these trees, sorry. And then part 2 was the bears and trees, and then the boots, compasses, backpacks, and this row of leaves. And then part 3 is this sort of triangle bits here. And there's going to be trees and then foxes going along. So the fox was charted for one of the DMC sort of lighter browns in the bears, and Charlie and Kim, so Charlie stitches with Charlie Feathers and Kim from Stitchy Squirrels, had sort of had a discussion saying that they didn't think it was very fox coloured. They were right. So they'd gone through all their threads and found that this particular thread was probably the best fox colour and the fox colour that they liked. So of course I just blatantly copied them because I was behind. I didn't have to do any thinking for myself. They've done it for me. So I've just blatantly copied the fact that they're using, I think we're using 3852. If it's different, I will put it on the screen. But yeah, to make our foxes more fox coloured. So that's that. Then I also did work on this yesterday. I had a little bit of time last night, and I probably will work on it a little bit today. So in 2023, in November, Rosie X Stitches and myself decided that we were going to do all the La Finestra del Tempo charts from Crochet Go Go. And they are a set of monthly charts that she designs in sort of in 3 lots. So you've got 4 charts in each one that you buy. And we said that we'll start January in the November 23. So then in January 24, we'll have it ready to display. And then so on and so on. Anyway, that worked for about 3 minutes. I didn't keep up with that at all. I don't think Rosie has either. I don't want to sound like I'm, you know, saying bad things about her. As far as I know, she's not up to date as well. But anyway, I did actually manage in the end in 2024 to get January, February, March, April, May and June completely finished. And 3 of those are even FFO'd. Whoa, go me. So I do need to FFO the others. And then I'd started July, but not got very far with it. And then I'd gone on a retreat in October last year and decided that I was going to start the October one and maybe I would move along with that. But that didn't move along either. So there I was with just up to June finished and no more. So I pulled this out last night thinking, right, I really need to get going on this. So this is how they sort of come in the 4 charts. So this one is for May, June, July and August. They're at a bit of a weird angle. So like I say, I've done May and June and I'm working on July now. Haven't started August. So this is where my July is at. So the little bit that I'd got done is I'd got all the white stitches for the border, July and 31 for the number of days, and some of this sunflower done. So last night I just finished off the sunflower, started putting the green leaves in and started the next sunflower. The colours are really pretty in all of these designs. Highly recommend them. And the needle minder there is by Charlie Feathers. I'll link her coffee shop below where you can go and have a look and see what she's got. Most of my needle minders, to be fair, are by Charlie. So yeah, so that's oh I'm so sorry. Just literally bashed the tripod. So that's where I've got to with July. Hopefully, you never know, that might even get finished before July this year. And then my last whip that I worked on in the last couple of weeks is Saga by Long Dog Samplers. I do try and work on this on Sundays for hashtag Saga Sundays. I don't manage to do that every single Sunday, and I don't think I'll do it today, but most Sundays I do. So this is where I'm at. I really, really love this design. So the last time I worked on it, I'd got, I think the arch, this arch was all done down to here. So I basically went all the way along and finished this bottom and then started putting in the lighter pink for the inside of the arch. And this is being stitched on, oh, I didn't say for July, that's 32 count Murano even weave in light taupe and all the called for DMC. This is 32 count Permin or Witchelt linen in pink sand. And the 2 DMC colours are DMC 3685 and 3687. And they look really good together, I think. Yeah, so happy with that. So that's all the whips for the last 2 weeks. Not too bad, I don't think. Hopefully, moving forward, I'll get some more work on the July and, well, on all of them really. Probably still be behind all the Stitching Cabin Great Outdoors, but hey ho, it still gets work on it, so that's fine with me. Okay, so now I've got a couple of things to show you that I'm mildly obsessed about. Actually, if I tell you my plans and then anybody that's not bothered about what I'm obsessed about can leave. There is a little bit of haul, but there are 2 giveaways, so you might want to stick around anyway. Plans are, I've got a new start today. I'm going to start a little cottage kit that I got from eBay, which is all the fault of Ellie from Stitching Bee. I will link her below. Hi, Ellie. She showed the exact kit that she'd got either from eBay or Vinted, and that just set me off then. I was like, right, I need to find that kit because I need it in my life. Found it on eBay and got my hands on that. So today, I think Charlie and some others, I think Kim and Yaz are starting some little kits that Yaz got in Poland. And they're different designs, I think, or I think they're all cottages, seasonal cottages. And I haven't got that kit, but I was like, okay, well, I'll join. Can I join with a different cottage? So I'm going to start my little cottage later. So I'll show you that in a minute when we get to that. Then next Sunday, which is Easter Sunday, I'm going to start Lily from Stacey Nash. No one can say that, can they? Stacey Nash. Which I'll show you again in a minute because I've got her here with my frog bag in haul. So yeah, starting her next Sunday, and there will be more fabrics to show you from Bethany. So Bethany has dyed some fabrics, some for me, some for herself, some for Charlie, which are on the way to her recently. So I've sent her various bits of fabric, and she's dyeing various things and doing certain colours and all sorts. So that's been really exciting. So hopefully next time I see you guys, I'll have some more of her fabrics to show you. That's about it, I think, for April. I mean, you know, things crop up and new starts happen, and what can you do? But they're the plans, shall we say. Okay, so the mild obsession at the moment is with strawberry charts. So it's partly Charlie Feather's fault and partly Pauline from So Be Bags' fault, really. So little bit of context. I ordered a frog bag that I'll show you in haul from Pauline, the lovely Pauline at So Be Bags. I've showed her bags before. They are amazing. I mean, her sewing skills are just perfection. So I ordered, she'd put up a post on her Instagram saying that she'd got these different frog fabrics, and she knows that everyone's obsessed with this Lily frog by Stacey Nash, and did anybody want a bag? And I was like right in there. So I ordered my bag, and when she'd done it, she said, oh, I'm going to send you an extra bag for a giveaway. So spoiler alert, that's the second giveaway. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous bag by Pauline. So I said, oh, that's really kind of you. You know, thank you so much. I was really grateful. Anyway, this package arrived with the bags in. And again, I'll show you when we get to the bags. Not only were there the bags, my bag, the giveaway bag, there was a little bundle of charts as well. And she sent me a beautiful card saying, just added a few charts, either stitch them yourself or use them for giveaways. So there's a little bundle there that's going to be giveaways in the future, not today, but I will give them away. But the one of them I wanted to keep because I really, really liked it. And I think Charlie had said something before, and she's been doing strawberry needle minders, and I'd ordered one of those and all this kind of thing. But it sent us both down a little bit of a rabbit hole into what cross-stitch strawberry patterns are out there. And I've now got this, I mean, some of them I already had, but until I went like searching for them, I'd forgotten. So I've got this little bundle of kind of strawberry patterns. So I thought I'd show you what my strawberry obsession patterns are. I've also got two things that I have already stitched that are strawberries and FFO'd. So I thought I'd show you those. If you've been here before, you've probably seen them, but here we go. So this is Strawberry Fair by October House Fibre Arts. And I stitched mine on all the called for. The fabric is the Weeks Dye Works Baby's Breath, which I think it must have been an old Weeks. It was a horrible fabric to stitch on, but I did it. All the called for threads. And then I've just finished it into this little slightly wonky pillow with a little bit of gingham on the back and some chenille trim. And it's just stuffed with fibre fill. Polyfill. Polyfill, that's what you put in your walls, isn't it? Fibre fill. Soft toy stuffing. So yeah, that was that. Then I also stitched and finished Strawberry House by Little House Needleworks. And this chart was gifted to me by Charlie after she'd stitched it. And I stitched mine with the called for threads, which were a mixture. I think there's some DMC, or are they all over dyes? I can't remember. And I did buy, when you bought the pattern originally, you did get little buttons with it, but obviously Charlie had used those. So I did buy the buttons separately to stitch onto mine. So that's the pattern. Strawberry House, absolutely gorgeous. And I finished mine on a little mini chopping board that I got from B&M. I think it looks really nice. A little bit of trim. I just mounted it onto some mount board, glued it onto the chopping board, and then put some trim around the edge, chenille trim. So they're the two things that I've already stitched and FFO'd. And then these are the strawberry charts that I'm mildly obsessed with right now. I also got myself this little tray, and I did actually get one and send it to Charlie as well. These are just like called a mini tray or a snack tray, and they've got loads of upside down, loads of different designs. This is just from a shop on eBay. Yeah, really, really cute. And they've got, like I say, loads and loads of different designs. Just melamine. And I thought that'd be a nice little stitching tray for when I'm stitching strawberries. Nearly fell off from the floor then. So this is the chart that set it all off, really. That put one of the charts that came from Pauline. Thank you very much, Pauline. And this is Strawberry Harvest by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I just love that so much. So I immediately got the threads. And I'm just deciding on fabric, but I think Bethany's going to dye me some I never stitch on 40 count. I've got a bit of an obsession in my head with 40 count fabric. I keep thinking about it and I keep thinking I want to do something on it. I've done two tiny little things that I did for Kim, one for Kim and one for Charlie for their birthdays on 40 count, but I've never actually stitched like something like this or an actual pattern, big pattern. Not that it's massive, but you know what I mean, on 40 count. So I've got a bit of an obsession with, that's what I want to do this on. The called for is 40 count Ancient by Picture This Plus, but I'm going to see what Bethany can dye me, and then hopefully I can get that started. And there is another lady, oh, her name, I can't remember her name, I'll have to put her name on the screen, and Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, who are both going to stitch it with me when we do start. So that's the first one, and that's kind of what got it going. And then I realised I'd got a few things already and then had to get a few things. So I already had this one, which is Berries and Blooms. Obviously the strawberry there. This one I got, which you've seen recently, because I did a swap with Sally at Flossie Sews and Grows when we were away for our weekend away. And she took a chart that I was destashing and I took this one, which is Gathering Strawberries by Annie B's Folk Art. So if you go over to Sally's Flosstube, or Instagram, you'll be able to see this finished, and her finish is really beautiful. Then I already had Teresa Kogut Strawberry Sheep, as anyone that's been here before knows I love me a sheep. And then I got these two little kits recently from eBay, which are just from old magazines. The chart is in there. It doesn't come with the chart, it's taken out of the magazine. Look at that. And then this little cute one as well. So they should be quite quick stitches. Then I did go over and get myself this chart from Erin Elizabeth Designs. So Strawberry Biscornu. So pretty. She has some really nice designs actually. I'll link her shop below. Then I have this one by Yasmin from Yasmin's Made with Love. Now I got this way back when she put it up in her Patreon, but it is a chart that you can purchase, and it's so pretty. I don't know why, I've just never got round to stitching it. It doesn't matter with me. But yeah, Strawberry Season by Yaz. Then I got this one, which is out of a magazine. S is for Strawberries, and this is by, I want to say Little Dove Designs. Yeah, Faye Walsh Little Dove Designs. It's also available in her shop, so you can buy this as a PDF download in her Etsy, which I will link below. And then I bought this magazine secondhand off eBay. So this is issue 242 of Cross Stitcher magazine, and it's from August 2011. So I bought it because of this gorgeous bag on here. So it gives you the chart to stitch the strawberries and these flowers, and then all the instructions of how to make it up into a tote bag. So I'm all over that. I want to do that. But what I didn't realise was that in this magazine is this chart here. You see that, the roses? Now you might recognise that if you've been here before, because I must have had this magazine when it first came out, because I've stitched that. And I couldn't remember, I knew it was from a magazine, but I didn't know what issue or where it had come from or the designer. And I recently FFO'd it onto a sort of a wooden platter in I probably haven't got a photo of it. If I have got a photo, I'll pop it in, but if I haven't, you won't see a photo. But basically it's that design, and I finished it onto a round platter with some little chenille trim around it, and it looks really pretty. So saw that when I was going through the magazine. I was like, oh, that's the chart I stitched. Great, I can find out who the designer is. It doesn't say. So I'm none the wiser. All I know is that it's out of this particular issue of Cross Stitcher magazine, but it doesn't say who the designer is, which they do now in the magazines now. So yeah, I was just like, oh. So yeah, so they are all the strawberry charts that I have. So I feel like, oh, I've got one over there that's in progress as well. I do have a strawberry whip, which is the Berry Basket collection by, I always get them mixed up, Hands On Design, and it's the strawberry. I'll pop a picture in here of the chart. And I'm doing mine with all the called for, the linen and the threads, and it's, you know, it's part way through. I need to get back to that. So I'm feeling that I always need a strawberry whip, and I also always need a cottage whip. So cottages are the next thing. That became a little bit of an obsession with Charlie as well. There's a theme here. Oh, and Ellie though, because Ellie's got a bit of an obsession about cottages as well. Stitching Bee. So Charlie and I have both finished these two. Not fully finished, as you can see. I haven't done the backs, but these were just little cottage kits from magazines. I think Charlie got this one in a charity shop or eBay or something like that, and the same for this one. I think this one's called Orchard Cottage. And then I've just found various ones on eBay over the last few months. So I've got this one, Thatched Cottage. I got this one recently, which is a keyring kit. So you do get this design to stitch and then into a plastic keyring if you wish. So that's a little kit. I also got this one recently from eBay. So pretty. And this one, which is just the chart. And then Ellie from Stitching Bee. This one is her fault because she showed it on her Flosstube. It's a cottage magnet kit. And now that I've since found out that there are different cottages magnet kits, because Charlie's got one, but hers is Mill Cottage, and it's like a water mill. And this one is Tudor Cottage. And this came as a full little kit with Ada and all the threads, and also the magnet to display it in. So basically it's like a Perspex square. Let's see if I can get this bit out. And it comes with a piece of sticky board mount board that goes inside. So you just slightly pull it apart. See that? So you mount your stitch in and then you just slide it in, and then it's got a big magnet on the back. So that came with it. I don't know whether I'll finish it that way or not, but very happy with that. And then I also got this kit from eBay, which has got some ribbon embroidery on it. So this is Twillies of Stamford cross stitch designs with ribbon embroidery. It doesn't have any other name, but basically that cottage, you stitch the cottage, but some of it is ribbon embroidery, like for the flowers. All those flowers are done with ribbon embroidery, which I have done many years ago once. So hopefully the instructions will be good and I'll be able to do it again. So they're the obsessions. Cottages and strawberries. I know. So if you made it this far, thanks. Let's do something a bit more exciting than my obsessive behaviour, and let's do some giveaways. So this box arrived, and we all know what that means. It's a cotton and twine box from Historical Sampler Company, and this is the April box. And this was kindly gifted to me by the lovely ladies at Historical Sampler Company. And inside we've got the usual waxed paper, and then everything for this month's design and box. Can't really see much in there. So let me show you what we've got. The design this month is by Historical Sampler Company, and it is this gorgeous little summary design, and it's June. So they have been doing various monthly charts in the boxes. And now we're on to June. So you get the chart for this design, which is absolutely beautiful. And you get black and white, do you? Let me just check. Oh no, colour chart only in there. But the chart nonetheless. Then you get your little baggie with the fabric, which this time is a little piece of 32 count linen. And there's a needle in here somewhere, and then all these beautiful, beautiful coloured threads, which are all DMC, all pre-sorted, ready to go. You also get the frame to fully finish it into. So this is a white wooden frame, and it has like a perspex rather than glass. But it's really, really nice, really good quality little frame. And so you've got everything there you need to just stitch it and finish it. You also get the usual tea bag, a usual sweet treat, but this time, which this time is honeycomb milk chocolate. I even debated keeping this box because I wanted to eat that. And I thought, just don't be so silly. And then you get this gorgeous little cute bee decoration. So yeah, really, really sweet, really great box. Lovely, lovely things. I just don't have time to add another whip to my ever-growing whip pile. Now I've got a strawberry obsession and a cottage obsession. I just haven't got the time for something else. So I'm going to give my box away. So all you need to do if you want to win this box is use the word in your comments. Just use the word June, June. You don't have to make it into a sentence. You can just stick it on the end or just write June and nothing else. That's fine. I'd like it if you were a subscriber though, please. And then what I will probably do is I will make this giveaway UK only. Sorry. But I probably will still ship it not in this big box. I might decant it into some smaller packaging, even though it is UK only. But because of the frame, it is going to be a bit more heavy, a bit heavier. So UK only, use the code word June, June. Now you can get this box yourself if you don't want to wait for the giveaway. You can subscribe to the Cotton and Twine boxes on their website, for which there is a link below. And they are £20 for a box with Ada fabric. But if you prefer linen, you can get a linen box, and that is £22, both plus shipping. And you have up until the 25th of April to get this particular box. After that, it will change over to the next box. So up to the 25th of April, get yourself a subscription and you can get your hands on that gorgeous chart and all those goodies for this month. So my next video isn't going to be till after that cutoff date. Okay, I don't want to have to do another video in the month. I just don't have time for that. So my next video won't be till the 27th of April, I think it is, the Sunday. So if you absolutely categorically want this chart in your life and this box, then you will need to go over and subscribe. But if you're happy to wait and see, then do enter the giveaway. But like I say, it will come after the cutoff date. Okay, I've said that 3 times now. Don't miss out. Then let's move on to Pauline and her giveaway things for me, and then I'll do the last bit of haul at the end. So I have this chart, as I'd said, that I'm going to start next week, next Sunday, and this is Lily by Stacey Nash Designs. It's from her Animal Crackers series. So I haven't got on board with the Animal Crackers. I just was a bit like, I don't get it. I mean, they're all right. But Lily, I saw Lily and I was like, I just need a frog in a pink dress. So I've got all the threads ready for her. And I got this chart and the threads together from the Stitchery, who I'll link below. So because I got that, and then Pauline put up a post on her Instagram that she'd got these, I think there was 2 different frog fabrics. I was like, well, yep, I need a frog bag. So I got myself this frog bag. gorgeous, isn't it? So Pauline's almost trademark lace trim, beautiful fabrics, little ribbon and button zipper pull, and then inside mine is lined with this gorgeous turquoisey blue fabric, and yeah, absolutely perfect. So yeah, they're such good quality, her bags. So I'm so pleased to have that for my Lily. Then obviously you need a few accessories, right? So Adele from Tailor Made Stitching, she's got a coffee shop. I will link her shop below, and she's made zipper pulls. This is a scissor fob, not a zipper pull. Scissor fobs and zipper pulls in with frogs. So I got a set of those. She also sent some little stickers, a couple of frog ones with that. Charlie's doing me a frog needle minder, so that's another obsession almost, isn't it? Anyway, that was those. And like I said, when Pauline messaged me to say the bag was ready, she said she was going to send me another one for a giveaway. So here we go. This beautiful bag has been gifted to me to give away to one of you lovely viewers. It's absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. The fabric is just gorgeous. And the back is the same. Look at this little like stitching fairies, aren't they, almost? Absolutely stunning. And this has got the little pink ribbon and button zipper pull, and inside it's just a plain cream lining, all finished beautifully. So if you would like to win this bag, gorgeous bag by Pauline, let's say, what shall we use? Shall we use the word fairy? Because there's little stitching fairy. I think they're like little stitching fairies. So you need to use the word fairy in your comment. Again, you don't need to put it in a sentence. You don't need to write anything else. You can just write fairy, but you do need to be a subscriber. And you, for both giveaways, you will need to be over 18, so I can ask you for your physical address. I will ship this anywhere, and I'll do my best to not crease it as best I can, but it probably will have to be folded. It came to me folded, and there was a little bit of a crease, and I did just iron it, and it came right out. So it shouldn't be an issue, but I'm telling you that that's what I will do. So it may come with a bit of a crease, but it will iron out if it does. So yeah, keyword fairy. Stunning bag. So Pauline, like I say, sent me a gorgeous little card with those bags and a little bundle of charts that I'm not going to go through now, but there's a handful of charts here that I will give away on future videos. Like I say, she said, stitch them if you want, give them away if you want, basically whatever suits you. So I thought that was really, really kind, Pauline. And like I say, I have kept the strawberry one. So those will be future giveaways. So keep your eyes out for those. Right, little bit of haul. I got this little kit from Facebook, a Facebook D-Stash. It's by Permin. And that just could be outside my front door. Although my husband's bike isn't red. If the bike was blue, that literally, well, or green, he's got more than one. That could be outside, yeah, outside my front door. So, gorgeous little kit. Then if you've seen my Instagram, you know that I saw this chart and literally had to go over and order it straight away. And this is called Swan Lake by Kyoko Maruka, also known as Gira. But this chart isn't on Creative Poppy, where most of her charts are sold. This is on a Japanese crafting website that is a tad difficult to navigate, but I got there in the end with the help of Google Translate, and did manage to buy and get the chart. And then I've managed to use, I'm sure, I don't know why I'm going to tell you this, you're sure you all know, if you've got a photo of something, you can get it will, you can put it into Google Translate thing and it will, it translates it. Anyway, so I managed to do all that for the chart, so I know what size it's going to be, what they've suggested as the called for. You can see the DMC numbers because they're just numbers, figures, not, and they're not in Japanese. So that was all translated for me by Google. Thank you, Google. so that I could know what I needed and what I needed to get. So the called for fabric is a 28 count Permin linen in purple. So I got a 32 count, more like that really. I think this is called Peaceful Purple. It's basically like a lavender. It's not like that at all. It's a lavendery purple colour. It's really, really nice. So I got that, and I got the called for DMC. So that is basically ready to stitch. I don't know when that will be started, but I just think it's so pretty. I also got Barbara Anna's latest chart, because why not? What's she called? Queen Butterfly. So a couple of my friends said, yeah, it's a really nice chart, but why does she look so miserable? I like her little miserable face. So I think they're going to try and change it and make her a bit happier, but I'm going to stitch her as miserable as she looks. I like it. Then I also, when I was on Erin Elizabeth Designs website, when I got the Strawberry Biscornu, I saw this chart that she does. I just really like it. I just thought it was a really sweet little alphabet sampler, and you could really do what you like with the colours on that to make it your own and use any kind of fabric. So I just thought that would be a really sweet little finish at some point. Then I also managed to get my hands on a paper copy, because I got this from Evertote over in Canada. The shipping wasn't stupid money and it came quite quickly. So this is one of Jacob's newish charts. That is the title of it. No, that says Modern Folk Embroidery. That is the title of it. And that is, I believe, I haven't read it fully, but I believe that's the girl's name that originally stitched it. But I don't know how to say that without ruining it. So I'm not going to try and say it. Okay. And I just really liked it. I really like the colours. I like these giant moths or butterflies here. Yeah, really like that. And then, is this the last bit? This is the last bit of haul. I got this little set from Anita at Northumberland Sampler House. These are going to be really hard to show. And she's now got a listing on her Etsy, which I will link below, for thread keeps and scissor fobs and needle minders, but you can have them personalised. So you can send her your logo if you've got one, or a photo of your child, your view, your car, whatever it might be that you would like to have on the ring, floss ring keeps and the scissor fobs and so on, and she'll make them for you. So I sent her my, I'm not going to show it all, are I? Logo picture, and she has made my logo picture into the thread keep and a zipper pull and a needle minder, which I'll try and show you as best I can. And then she includes these little charms, and you can choose what little charms you want. So I got a little sheep and a little flower, and then there's a little thing that says love. I know that's really blurred, isn't it? Sorry, I can't make it unblurred. And then the zipper pull I got the same, my logo, but with different charms on. So this one's got a little heart and some scissors and a different flower. Doing a terrible job of this. And then this is the needle minder. And they're just perfect. They're so nice. And the needle minder is really good, actually. It's you know, very magnetic, which is what you want. So yeah, whole little set there I got. You can pick and choose from, you don't have to buy that set. You can buy square ring floss keeps rather than round, but my logo is mostly round. So yeah, there's a few different options, so I will link it below. So do go and have a look, because you know there are endless possibilities with that, really. I mean, you could get one matching every project that you've got on the go, or anything. Yeah, they're really nice, and the turnaround time was super quick. So I ordered, she'd put a post on her Instagram, and I'd messaged her and said, oh, you know, how does this work? All I had to do was go and order on her Etsy shop, and then let her know, send her the picture, and she did it. And then she sent me various pictures through the process to say, okay, this is what they're going to look like, which charms do you want, you know, how do you did all that. And then literally she posted it and it arrived the next day. So fantastic service, and they are really, really great. I'm really pleased with those. That's it, I think. So much for doing every 2 weeks and shorter videos. I mean, it's a bit shorter than last time, but it's not exactly short, but that's because I had to add in my obsession bits and my giveaways in my defence. So I hope you enjoyed this rambling mess of a video, and I hope you will enter for the giveaways. Don't use all those words like giveaway, prize, win and all that kind of thing. Keywords are fairy for Pauline's beautiful bag and June for the cotton and twine box, which has, like I said before, the winner will be announced after the cut-off date. So if you really want that, you need to get yourself over to Cotton and Twine and get it ordered. That's it from me. I am going to go and enjoy the sunshine after I've tidied up this big mess, and then I will see you in 2 weeks for another stitchy update. So until next time, happy stitching everyone.